Second half action getting set to kick off. You saw the stats there momentarily. Not good for the home team, Las Vegas Gladiators. Gladiators are 5-1, and they're getting run over right now by this dominant, probably one of the most dominant teams we've seen in the history of arena football, this Grand Rapids Rampage team. It is, it's been pretty wild so far. I will give credit, though, to the Gladiator defense because they have been doing their part. They got a turnover late at the end of the second quarter. They've done not too bad on defense. I mean, 28 points is pretty low for our standards when we're averaging 60 points a game. The Rampage here. They've also come up with some nice defensive plays. I'm sitting here talking good about them, and they let that happen. But they've not let points come easily, is what I'm trying to say here. But so far in this battle, it has been our offense doing our thing, chugging along, and the Gladiator offense just old raspberry. Stafford connects with Fleming, and Grand Rapids is right here getting ready to punch this one in again. Welcome back, everyone, to TV Sports 27. Thanks for coming back, catching this second half to see, are we going to go to 7-0? We came close with the Denver Broncos. There's a touchdown, Lonnie Ford. We came close with the Denver Broncos a couple of years ago, our Super Bowl year, 15-1. We've had some undefeated seasons with the Utah Utes. How about this Gladiators team? Just looking at the eyes of another unbeaten. Trying to figure out what's going wrong right now. That's what every team did. We beat undefeated Nashville. We're rocking 5-1 Las Vegas. And if we get through Utah next week, who is currently 5-1, we're gonna take a look at their standings and scores after this. Boy, I think. Oh, look at this. We can get some good field position. Right now, the plan would be to stream that game the next time we stream with you guys here on Twitch, which would be on a Thursday, so be on the lookout for that. I will most likely not be on this weekend, probably on Sunday, but Saturday, gotta work, a little bit of overtime, doing a big computer migration project, so gotta head to work for that, be there all day, and then Saturday night, there is a lot as far as sports and wrestling and things of that sort, so there will be no time. Sunday, though, I think I can get on earlier in the day, maybe. We'll see. We'll be on the lookout. I'll try to get you guys a little Patreon bonus content on Friday. If that is there the case. Well, it's 4th and 4 here for the Las Vegas Gladiators. We're just continuing to struggle in this game. And Aaron Garcia under pressure and does connect with Fred Coleman. Gladiators, they can see the end zone. Boy, they want that end zone so bad. It's right there for them. Garcia steps up. And how about the defense? That was Chris Angel, number 2, knocking the pass away. Unreal by this defense. To the end zone. Oh, and Chris Angel does it again. Back to back.
3rd and 10. Ball on the 16-yard line.
And on 3rd down, Garcia under duress. It is caught. And it is a 1st down. Oh my goodness, we've had him. Either way, they're losing a lot of time on this lengthy drive, but Garcia, hand off to Toombs. They just want to get a touchdown. 5-1 team. Hey, SK Money, I see you in the chat. Welcome, welcome. What's going on, my friend? It's another blowout. I don't know what's happening. We haven't had a close game since week 1. Aaron Garcia, he tries to run it in himself. Arena football is usually a back-and-forth shootout, close, exciting games. We've been blowing every team out here. 3rd down for Vegas. Handoff to Toombs, and he's in the end zone. Las Vegas finally with a touchdown. Hey, the Gladiators only within 3 scores. As much as it's been a pretty dominant performance. First alert weather day. You got rain? What's going on? Extra point good. 35-13, so a 22-point game. So might start seeing some onside kicks here. Vegas. That took a lot of effort, though, for Vegas to get into the end zone. Maybe up to Grand Rapids to try to keep this pressure on the Vegas Gladiators. Stafford rolling out of the pocket, looking for Damian Grosh. And what a catch. Are you... Get out of here with that. Are you kidding me? What a catch from Grosh. Grocery store, express checkout. Rampage. Not slowing down at all. Stafford. Oh, wait a minute. Touchdown. Yes, perfectly legal in arena football. Bounces around. Corey Fleming with the score.
Here we go. Yeah, bring it on.
Oh, my God. Vegas. First alert Vegas day for this blowout. I think we can make ourselves at home on this field. It would feel good. Winning the Arena Bowl right here on this turf. If you notice, I haven't even attempted to say that name. Elfridge? Elfridge? Garcia. It's a short one to Douglas. That will wind down the 3rd quarter here.
At the end of the 3rd quarter, the score is Grand Rapids 42, Las Vegas 13.
Get some plugs out of the way here. You guys know Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Patreon, Streamlabs, TV Sports. Support the channel. Come for more arena football blowouts. I mean, come on. Domination. Garcia going deep down the field, and it's knocked away by Chris Angel, who's done a hell of a job in coverage in this game here today. Look at that. Look at the season average and look at today's game. You telling me those numbers saying we were like last in the league in defense? Get out of here with that. Garcia. Oh my God, Fred Coleman. And Aaron Garcia is injured. A nightmare game right now for Aaron Garcia. Couldn't get anything going. Now he's injured. He's out of there. Who's coming in now? We have Frank Hobson, who steps in for the Gladiators. And Hobson immediately throws the ball into our defenders, nearly turns it over on downs. And you can put the Gladiators dagger in right now. I mean, this is even, you see, even better than our normal average, which is for a while, it was under 35. Stafford to Marshall, and that's going to clank off the iron and falls incomplete. Looking for that final knockout blow. So Garcia wants to get back in there. He don't care the score, the blowout. As I mentioned in previous games, Grosh. Oh boy, that was again. Well, that's that's a little worrisome. You've seen a couple of errant throws from Shane Stafford here so far in this game, but as I said, I don't know. You guys like seeing blowouts? Would you rather the games be a little more exciting? Can't control what our defense is doing, but this is quite the run that this team has been on, and that was a poor offensive possession for Stafford and company. Yeah, I'll take the field goal. Why not? I thought about going for it, but it is arena football after all. I think we get these points. Schmidt's going to come on. Kick looking good, and it is delivered. So 45-13 going to be your score here. And once again, it'll go to another week, and we're going to be asking, can Utah be the team to slow this team down? See if we get Garcia coming back onto the field again, or if it's going to be Hobson taking another possession. It is going to be Hobson. So backup quarterback Frank Hobson in the mix. And Hobson going down the field, and he completes it to Horacek. That's one of the most productive things they've done all day. Vegas looking for their second touchdown of the game with 3 minutes to go. Garcia comes back in and immediately goes down. Sacked by Randy Jackson. So, boy, Hobson's got to be sitting on the bench. Like, I mean, I come in here, I make this big play. I know it's Aaron Garcia, right? It's the legend, but come on, this is like Peyton Manning, Brock Osweiler. I know it's the legend, but you got the understudy playing pretty well right now, and now the offense just kind of gets stagnant again. Garcia, he hits Mike Horacek in the back. And it's going to be 4th down. 13 points we might be looking at here in arena football. Let's see what happens on 4th down. Garcia, touchdown.
Touchdown, Gladiators!
Joe Douglas with the score. And you got to imagine an onside kick's coming next. Unless they're just content with saying, okay, we got 2 touchdowns. Let's call it a day. They are going to go for the onside kick.
This is gonna be easy. Stay alert.
And I thought it was kicked right out of bounds, but Corey Fleming is going to come up with it. So we're not really in a position yet. We're not in the 1-minute timing rule, so even if you get tackled behind the line of scrimmage, the clock will continue to run. It's only when we get to those 1-minute rules that we'll have to continue to move the ball forward. Fleming gets lit up. Wow. What a tackle there by Chuck Reed. And you still want to play hard, too. 25 points. We repeated, it's the 50-yard indoor war. 25 points, not that hard to overcome in arena football. Stafford Nice catch by Willis Marshall. I put the little asterisk to that. When you're still going full blast and both teams are trading touchdowns and whatnot, then yes, it is tough to overcome. But when you got one team, when you're going back and forth exchanging touchdowns, you're down by 3 touchdowns every time, it's going to be tough. When you're down by 3 or 4 scores and you hit your onside kicks and stuff, that's where I say it's easy to kind of come back, because you get some onside kicks or you get possession and it really takes 1 or 2 passes to get like into the end zone. You know, it's not really that difficult to score in arena football, so you can make up 3 touchdowns really quickly if you put your mind to it. So 4th down, the Rampage, we're gonna go for it here, try to make this one a win, and Damian Grosh, touchdown.
I can feel it. It's electric, babe.
And there he is. He's doing the express checkout right now. Beep, 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 beep. Yes, sir. Let this clock wind down to the 1-minute warning here, so we'll let it tick. You know, play clock probably down to about 5 seconds or so before we deliver. But what do you guys think? This is quite a run that we're at right now with this team. Oh, it did. I hit the 1-minute warning. Okay, I thought we had a little bit more time to give after the 5-second mark. I mean, I guess I was right on with 5 seconds. What do you guys think about this Rampage team? I can't make the games more exciting. We're dominant. We're just dominant. You guys might have to watch that week 1 game with the Columbus Destroyers over and over if you want to see a close arena football game. We had a Roll Tide that was in the chat in that very first game. That's probably the most lively we've seen the chat, as Stafford going to be your player of the game again. But he had said, you got to work on your defense. Defense is not looking good. Well, ever since week 1, defense has been the best in the league. Horacek. He's had some nice plays. His numbers probably, I mean, there it is. Thank you, right on cue, the stat man. 108 yards. Garcia, my God. Oh, but the flag going to be thrown on Chris Jackson, so he's not going to get, or Randy Jackson, rather. Chris Jackson was my wide receiver with the Georgia Force those 2 seasons. Garcia. Chris Angel is there. So we weren't affected too much. I mean, we scored about 10 less points than what we normally do, but the rounded end zones were not an issue for our team. We saw a couple of errant throws, and we saw one that did hit the iron at the bottom, but it's something to take into consideration. But it did not seem to be a bit of a detriment here to our team in this battle. Vegas gonna go hurry up offense here as the 4th quarter clock ticks down to 20, and Garcia, touchdown to Joe Douglas.
Touchdown, Gladiators!
Well, Vegas ended up getting a bunch of touchdowns down the stretch here, but this score is going to end up looking like pretty much all the other scores that we've seen this year, where one team's around that 30-point range and the other team's in that 50 to 60-point range. So Vegas content with this one pretty much out of reach now to just boot this one deep. And with that, we will move to 7-0 on the year. We'll get ready for the post-game show, and then we're going to look at all the scores. We'll look at some stats.
Grand Rapids, 52. Las Vegas, 27.
Actually, we'll save the stats for the next game. After week 8, we'll be at the halfway point. We'll do the stats after the Utah game, kind of see where everyone sits. 52-27, your final. We get to head back home finally after being on the road 3 weeks in a row. Nashville. I mean, from Grand Rapids all the way to Nashville to Colorado to Vegas. Get to return home. The Grand Rapids Rampage are 7-0. My goodness. Shane Stafford, your player of the game, 14 of 26, 227, 6 touchdowns, had the pick. But another big-time showing for the Rampage of Grand Rapids. Scores from around the league, week number 7, Georgia Force. Man, that makes that week 1 game even more baffling. You see Columbus fall to 2-5. The Chicago Rush getting their second win of the year, putting 58 points on the board. Colorado, they were 3-2. They are now 3-4. Low scoring battle, but the Utah Blaze will survive the Nashville Cats. 35-34. So that sets up a battle next week. 6-1 versus 7-0. Orlando, 63-56. Your final. The Predators, the other undefeated team. Could that be an Arena Bowl preview? We don't have Orlando on the schedule this year. I want to look at what Orlando. I'll look at Orlando after this. See what they've done. Grand Rapids, you guys know, 52-27. Tampa Bay Storm fall to 1-7 with their loss to the Dallas Desperados. They're starting to pull away at 5-2. We go to a little overtime here, and San Jose starting to pick up some wins. They defeat Los Angeles. The Austin Wranglers getting the win over the New York Dragons. And in your final game of the week, the New Orleans Voodoo getting the win, sneaking past the Philadelphia Soul. So let's take a look real quick at, you can see again, scheduling-wise, other than week 1, which is going to be the outlier, that overtime game, this is what we've done in the last 6 weeks. And it's been, pretty dominant. Like Nashville, they've lost 3 games in a row, huh? Pretty dominant all the way. It's us scoring between 50 and 70 points. The other team scoring in the 30s. I mean, 27 twice, 35 3 times, a 41 in there. The Crush. Can't do much better than that. Let's look at the Orlando Predators, who is the other undefeated team. And they had that close game with the Voodoo right there. But they've also had some pretty dominant wins. They had a close game with the Dragons. Take those 2 close games away, and this one's a little close too. But they've had, I mean, that's a big win. They've had some big wins in there as well. Their opponent, 31-53. Our guys are 39-52. So we haven't necessarily played the hardest schedule in the world. What was Vegas? What was Vegas's? Man, they were pretty much blowing teams out. I mean, that was a really low-scoring game. I guess, it's not so weird that their offense only scored 27. They scored 27 in a win right there. But they were pretty much dominating some teams. Okay, standings. Take a quick peek, and then we'll preview next week. It's the Grand Rapids Rampage up top in the American 7-0. Just knocked off Vegas. We've already knocked off Nashville. The Utah Blaze coming up next, 7-0 versus 6-1. And these are your playoff teams. So Vegas still in that playoff hunt, even with that bad loss. The Predators, the Desperados, the Force, and the Voodoo. Of course, the Force were in the Arena Bowl last year. The Voodoo were in the Conference Championship last season. So all of these teams were right in the hunt. Man, it's you guys like the custom logo? I just wanted there to be a logo on the helmet. I go back and forth if I should just use the regular Voodoo logo or not. But I wanted to put a logo on the helmet, and you can't put a AFL logo on the helmet. So that's why we had to make it up. I don't know. It's kind of cool. The red skull, red and purple. It gets the job done. I want to see the Utah Blaze, what they've looked like this season. And they've had some tight battles. They've played a tougher schedule. Dominant win there. Close game. Pretty dominant. Somewhat close. Dominant. And a close win. So, yeah, don't know. Coming up next, though, is going to be Week 8, 7-0 versus 6-1. Look at those numbers on the left side for the Utah Blaze. Number 1 in total offense, 3rd in rushing offense, 2nd pass offense, top defense. But how accurate is all that stuff? I don't know. Because I don't know how we're 10th in the league when we're averaging more points than anybody. Like, how is that possible to be the 10th best offense in the league, but we score more points than anybody else? It's not, right? Turnover differential, we dropped down to 7th with that interception from Stafford, darn you Stafford. Same thing as well. I mean, you see how dominant our defense is, but yet we're ranked 13th and 14th. But every time we play teams, no one's breaking the 30-point barrier. So must be something weird with simulation. But either way, that's going to be it. Next week, don't miss it. Rampage Blaze. Are we going to get a close game this time, or is it going to be another Grand Rapids Rampage blowout? Stay tuned. Find out. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you guys next time. TV Sports 27. Thanks for your support as always. We appreciate it. If you like this video, we'd appreciate a follow on Twitch, subscribe, and thumbs up at YouTube. Check out our Patreon, Streamlabs, and Ko-fi. Thanks, guys, so much. We'll see you next time.